For those of you that don't know or remember what it's like to have an infant, it's been a 5-month-long game of, guess why my shirt's wet? I looked down at my pants yesterday and there was a mysterious stain. I said, oh God, I hope that's not poop. And then I wore them for like 4 more hours.
We are Moms Unhinged, a nationally touring stand-up comedy show. Join us in our podcast as we explore everything from motherhood, midlife crisis, marriage, divorce, online dating, menopause, and other things that irritate us. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Moms Unhinged, the podcast. And I am joined today by the amazing Tara Check, who is both a new mom and kind of new to Moms Unhinged. Because she's a new mom, we were like, okay, boom, you had a baby, get out here and perform.
Yeah, exactly.
So welcome, Tara. Thank you so much for joining us in your extremely busy day, I know, with a young child. So thank you.
Thank you so much for having me. It's nice to have a reason to step away.
I know, just like quiet, like, oh God,
Yeah.
Do not bother me for half an hour. I do feel like it's like it's so rare. So share with us, how old is your it's daughter, right? I'm like, God.
Now I have a son.
Dang it. Oh, shoot. I am
50-50 shot on that one.
so bad at remembering, and I'm always wrong. So son, oh, that's really fun. That is so fun.
He is just about 10 months old now. So his birthday's in September.
10 months. Oh my gosh, that's really, and it feels to me like it's flown by because I feel like you just had the baby, but every day is like 10 months.
It's like simultaneously the fastest my life has ever moved and the slowest. Like it seems like he's been here forever, but then I can't believe he's 10 months already. So it's like this weird time warp.
Yeah. It is hard to even explain to people who, it's just like, what, and then it's like, it'll be 2 p.m. and you haven't done anything. What happened?
Yep.
How? How has your journey been? Anything hugely surprising other than just all the work?
I think like it's almost hard to remember those early days, right? Like your brain does some kind of trickery, I think, to try to lull you into a false sense of confidence if it wasn't so bad and I'm going to have more. I think that's biological. So right now, my son just entered daycare a few months ago. I came out of maternity leave and he went to daycare. And I think one of the things I was not prepared for was like the illness, the constant illness. People told me kids get sick a lot, but this is like every week. There was a 5-week time period where he went to daycare for 4 days.
Oh my gosh.
And then it's stuff like, he comes home with hand, foot, and mouth disease. And then people are like, adults don't get hand, foot, and mouth disease. And if they do, it's very mild. Yeah. I was covered. I mean, like, my doctor said it's the worst case they had seen in an adult. And I was like, how am I getting barnyard diseases from this baby?
I know children are disgusting. They are.
I'll peek in the window at daycare whenever I'm picking him up, and I just watch him like grab a toy from another kid straight into his mouth. It's like this is the problem.
That is why they don't know that they're not supposed to do that. Yeah.
And then I get it usually, and my husband doesn't. But I think it's because I thought it was cute to do this thing where I like pretend to eat the baby's hands. So now he puts his hands in my mouth all the
just whatever germs
that one's on me a little bit.
Oh man. Oh, but this is just such a fun. I mean, I always felt like every age had its own fun time. 10 months. Is he crawling? Is he thinking about walking? Is he,
Yeah, so I don't know if this is bad that I was saying this, but I was like, my baby is a potato. He's never going to move. Like, he was so behind on like rolling over. And I always felt like he could physically do it, but that it was more of like I don't really feel like it situation. So it's kind of like he rolled and then immediately started crawling and then immediately started pulling up on things. So it was kind of
man.
like, we had not baby first. We really still haven't. We just did a playpen that is the only safe place we can put him right now, but it just happened very quickly.
Yeah.
And right now, this age is really fun. I'm like very much enjoying this because he's got some personality. He thinks I'm the bee's knees.
Yes.
He's sleeping well, you know, all that stuff. So this is a really cool time.
I love that. It's so fun. So fun when, and then when they start to be able to communicate their needs, that's so huge because you're like, for a while, you're like, why are you screaming? I don't know. I'm doing all the things. And, you know, it's good when they can really start to signal things and, you know, talking is so fun. So that's great.
Yeah.
That's great. Oh, how
he said
cool.
mama, but he wasn't really talking to me. So I don't know if it counts or not, but I'm going to take it. He made the noises.
For sure. Count it.
Yeah.
It is his first word.
Another thing about this age too is I'm just like comparing him to the dog and waiting to see when he gets smarter than the dog. Like, I don't think he's quite there yet, but I think it's like in the next couple of months gonna happen. The dog's pretty smart though, so I don't know.
The dog is winning.
Yeah. But I think he's smarter than the average dog, so it's a big competition right now.
Yeah. I wonder if the dog's he's like, oh man, I gotta keep up. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, right now I just yell, drop it, and they like both look at me, and usually I'm not talking to the dog.
Drop it. Everyone, just drop it. Whatever it is.
My husband drops his coffee. Like, I don't know who she's talking to.
Oh my God. How did the dog handle the baby? Was he jealous? Was it, I mean, because, you know, being the only dog.
Yeah, he was a dual income, no kid dog, right?
Yeah.
That we'd had for 5 years. So he's very sweet. He's like a scary dog. So I was like, I don't know if he's going to eat the baby or not. Yeah. So it was really nice in like the postpartum era. He was always just right there with me. Late night feedings, whatever. He was laying next to the chair and stuff. He looks at me like we ruined his life a lot. But he still is he tries to be supportive, I think.
Yeah.
The baby starting to move freaks him out for sure. So that's why instead of putting the dog in a cage, we got a cage for the baby so that the dog he was here first. So that's what you got to do.
He gets free range. That's awesome.
But the baby loves the dog so much that if he's fussy, I just call the dog into the room and it cheers him up. So I really use that to my advantage quite a bit. Oh,
that's really good. That is a really good trick. So that's amazing. Perfect. I don't know if people with babies should get dogs just for that reason, because there's just that's a lot going on, but that's a good hack right there for sure.
Yeah, I definitely don't think I would have chosen to do it in the other order. Like, you know, I pick up my babies like covered in dog hair, but I committed to the dog first and I love them so much that it's just our lives. But
that's right. So I want to just get a little, so you're still performing even after having a baby. That's a challenging thing. How are you finding time for that as you are parenting?
My husband is very competent with the hands-on care of the baby. You know, like I had a C-section. So the first 3 days, I don't think I really did much. I think it's kind of a blur, but he was sort of doing all this hands-on care. So he got comfortable very quick. Like he had to have a talk with me when we got home. And he's like, you know, the diapers fall off when you put them on. Like you don't know how to put the diaper on. And I know it doesn't sound hard, but it's like, you don't want to make it too tight. And so,
cut off circulation to their legs. I don't know.
I was just thinking about how tight I would want my diaper to be. And that was incorrect. I
like a roomy pant.
I just like to have good range of motion, little airflow, but that's not how you put a diaper on. So from day one, my husband was very capable. And I think we make it a point to we both need to do the things that we want to do sometimes because we're people outside of this like weird bubble that you get in with a baby where it's like, well, he goes to bed at 7, so we don't really go anywhere. And if we do, it's not that fun. You know, so he's very supportive of me continuing to do that. And I think especially during that weird postpartum kind of phase, I think I had, you know, even some like, I had some anxiety after the birth about the way things went down. And the first thing I thought is like, just write a joke about it, write some jokes about it, get on stage and do them, because it immediately had me thinking about it from a different light. It's not so traumatic anymore. It's like a kind of a funny thing with, you know, a hint of maybe some trauma underneath it. And then the coolest
that's all
thing,
comedy right there. That is all comedy.
Yeah, exactly.
Little skosh of trauma.
I made it a little cute, but I'm a little traumatized. The coolest thing at the mom shows, though, is that after I tell this story, women come up to me and say, "Oh, I had like a similar experience in my birth story and that journey." And I think it's cool to laugh, for all of us to laugh about it at that point. So
yeah, for sure. And I think the huge thing is that we just don't. A lot of times, either you don't talk about it, or the people right around you don't have that experience. So you think, oh gosh, am I the only one? And then you know, you're able to, you know, when you say it on stage, there's definitely people who've had that situation, sometimes worse, and you're like, oh God, that's terrible. You should do comedy. And but it is, I think it just helps take some of the pressure off of it, the bad feelings. I think Nancy Norton always says, take your pain and play with it. And it does help make it less traumatic. And we can all share around how difficult, first of all, childbirth is. And then just, you know, having children in general is just, we're always going through challenging things. So that's great.
And I think we're trained as women specifically, and I guess men too, but culturally we're like, oh, don't complain, right? Like, I'm not going to complain because all these women have done this and some people have it way worse. And I always catch myself going, oh, this is bad, but I know people that had it way worse. And I think that then you don't really acknowledge that what you went through was challenging as well.
Yeah, we definitely don't want to minimize our own situation just because, you know, because there is a range of situations, and it can be really hard, but they're all hard. And, you know, for sure, like, especially I think childbirth, when you have a vision of how you think it's going to go, you know, you have this plan, you have this idea, and it just always goes sideways. I passed out and threw up in the middle of my childbirth, and I woke up and I'm like, what's happening? You know, it's just so messy, you know? Yeah. So
I went in assuming that whatever I wanted to happen might not happen. And that may sound like I'm a negative person. I'm a bad luck person, right? Like the other day I was walking my dog and a squirrel fell out of a tree and hit me. Oh, this was my life. It was so jarring. Like, I'm not comparing it to like being shot because I know it's different, but it was like, it's this moment where you know something happened, but you don't know what it was. Right. And then you see the body of a squirrel on the sidewalk and then it takes up running and you're like, did that even just actually happen?
That is that is so true. When something sudden happens, you're like, what? I have no idea. What? Yeah. That's wild. I mean, the odds of that happening have got to be so extremely low. It's just... Okay.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking is like, you know, I had this phobia whenever I was walking around with the bassinet that a squirrel would fall into the bassinet. So I Googled, you know, like how often do squirrels fall out of trees? And Reddit, which I trust usually, was like, they never fall out of trees. Squirrels they're built for it. They do not fall out of trees. So imagine my surprise when the internet lied to me when I got hit by a squirrel. All this to say is I have kind of bad luck. So I went into birth going, probably whatever can happen might happen. Yeah. You know, at one point they had to put water back into me. You know, your water breaks and it's out and you think that's the end of the story. They're like, oh, no, we'll put some back in. I was like, I've never even heard of it. I didn't know that was a thing. So I went in expecting that anything could happen, but
Yeah.
even then, I feel like I was not prepared.
Yeah.
And then when someone says you have to have surgery while you're awake, you're like, this seems crazy. I was like, so can he stay in? Does he have to come out? Like, I don't mind being pregnant. It's
Yeah.
fine.
I
We'll
know.
just keep him
Hold
in
on
there
here.
forever.
Let's apparently no one wants this to happen.
Yeah. Yeah.
Gosh, it's hard. But then, it's like to your point, talking about how our memories just soften everything. I really do feel like my first childbirth experience did not go great, but then you kind of think later, was that so bad?
Yeah.
I think I can do it again. And it like, yeah, it is a weird thing that our brains do, and luckily you have this beautiful baby. At the end, it just
It was
it
for
is
something.
it is for something, yeah, and so that is great. So I want to also like talk about your comedy journey because you started comedy later in life. Like, how long have you been doing comedy at this point?
It's probably about 3 years.
3 years. Okay,
2 or 3 years.
yeah,
Somewhere in between.
that is amazing. And you started with a class with Christy Buckley, our own Christy Buckley here in Denver. Did you take other classes, or was that
It was my first one.
that was your first one?
So I like did a couple of wedding speeches
Okay.
for, family members or friends. And people were like, you should try comedy. And I always did like theater and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And those opportunities kind of diminish to if you're not a professional, like as you
Right.
get older,
Right.
and then have like a real job and stuff.
Yeah.
And so I thought maybe this like performing thing,
Right.
it could be in this form. So
Yeah.
I went to an open mic night and it went fine. But
So you did the open mic first. You didn't
I did
do
one.
Okay.
I did
All
one.
right.
And then I was very stressed out because I didn't know the rules. Oh my gosh. It's like chaos and pandemonium and like people are yelling and it's like, how do I know when to leave the stage? Just like feelings. I didn't understand the light. I didn't understand if I hug the person that gave me the microphone. When in doubt, just hug the stranger. And so
I'm a big hugger.
yeah, that's fine. And so I just felt like I need to know the rules. And I know that's crazy for like an art, but like my day job is engineering. I don't work in the gray well. It just is not. So I saw Christy's class and I took it, and I know that this is dramatic, but it was life-changing, and that like she just knew what I needed to hear and how I needed to learn it. There were things like in my writing that was so wordy, and I knew it was, but I didn't know how to make it less so. And she just made it so easy, right?
Right.
I know some people don't need a class. They don't need that information, but for me, it's exactly what I needed. And then I met, a friend in that class who started producing all these shows, and he started putting me on, right?
Yeah.
Joe Houston.
Yeah. I want
And-
to talk about that too, because
And it's just like, that's really where I started getting the reps, where I feel like between Christy and the opportunities given to me by Joe and you, that I've been able to progress faster than I would have thought.
yeah.
Doing
it's
these
huge.
awesome shows.
It really is huge. Open mics can get you, some good stage time, but they don't really get you the experience of being on a show because it's so different and the audience is so different. And so it's super valuable. So you started performing for Second Chance Comedy, started by Joe Huseman. And for those people who are in the Denver Front Range area, if you haven't gone to a Second Chance Comedy, definitely go and see that because it's really good. Joe puts on a great show with just a variety of comedians, and it's all about addiction and recovery, centered around that. And a lot of times it's in sober bars or places where people can go, and be away from alcohol and things like that. So, and everyone who's on it is typically has some stories about either recovery themselves, but I love your story that you tell about your brother. So why don't you share a little bit about your brother? And because I died laughing the first time I heard you, I was like, oh my gosh, that is crazy. So why don't you share a little bit about that?
Everyone wonders if they're adopted at some point when they're around their siblings. They're like, I'm not like this. But I think like truly with my brothers, it's like, how are we from the same cloth, really? But this brother in particular always struggled with addiction and things. But he decided in the process to become an entrepreneur and start making and selling mess, which is very lucrative where I grew up in Indiana. But he was living in a trailer with no water, trying to do his manufacturing process. So he started using his urine and the steps that you would normally use water, because he didn't have water. He didn't want to buy it. His urine didn't cost him a thing. He was making it anyway. But when you do meth, I guess it doesn't metabolize. So like it will come out in your pee.
Yeah.
So when he was using it to make the meth, it actually made his meth stronger. So like it became kind of like a local news story.
Oh my
because they thought he was like some genius that had figured this out, right? And then I was like, it's circumstance. He just didn't have the water. He wasn't like, what I think will really work with my extensive chemistry background.
Now, was this before Breaking Bad, or
it was before? Like, I think he was the original, guy that really wanted to make his impact in the meth world.
Yeah.
And so, then he was in jail the whole time that I went to college. I mean, they almost like lined up, and he's like, doing much better now, but it's hard to come out of that. And won the celebrity of like, you're the meth guy. And he has to be like, not anymore, guys. I'm out of the life.
And so everyone knew, I mean, it's on the news. Everyone knows. I mean, were you starting to get like messages, or this was probably before social media?
It was right on the line of like, people had Facebooks, but you had to have a college email to sign up for Facebook.
Oh, right.
Yeah. But it was so common for people to get busted for things like this that no one really thought that much about it. Like Farmersburg, Indiana, everyone has a brother that went to jail for meth. But I did, I was always like really good in school, like especially the sciences. And so when I'd be getting good grades on chemistry tests, I'd be like, it runs in the family, I guess, guys. I don't know.
Oh my God. It is wild. Your brother went to jail for manufacturing meth. You're an engineer. It's like such a...
Literally, I was the valedictorian of my class while my brother was like on trial for pee meth.
Yeah.
And it's just like, I just don't know. And it's like, we really weren't raised that differently. So it's like, where does this diverge? Right. And I think part of it was like, I knew that Farmersburg was not my jam. I was very vocal, and as a woman in those like environments, I thought there was something wrong with me. I was like, I just gotta get out of here and start fresh where I'm not such a freak. And then I went to college and I was like, wait a minute, there's other women like me that don't want to just have 9 babies and like, you know, and that's fine if that's your path. But it's like, I didn't see great examples around me of people who weren't doing that. Like, I think my mom, right? She was an emergency room nurse. She was a single mom for some of the time. And I think if it wasn't for her, I might not have even known it was an option to be like a career person. But the people I was surrounded by were not going that path. So it was like, and then I got out into other parts of the world and I'm like, oh, okay, I'm not as weird as I thought.
Yeah.
Still weird.
Still a little weird. I mean, hey, we're in comedy. What?
Me with the daycare moms, they have to think I'm the biggest weirdo because I do bad in short bursts with people. Like if you only see me for like a minute at a time, I'm not good at that. And so in about 4 years, right, when he's about to leave daycare, I think they're going to be like, she's actually not so bad.
She's actually cool. Did you? Really? I know. I often say some weird things right when I'm like, okay, never mind. I'll just be over here.
Like, you want to talk about the weather. I'm not good at that. And it's not because I think I'm so above it. I just like panic. But if you want to talk about your relationship with your parents the first time I meet you at Overshare, I love that. I'm all in for that. It's what I do.
Yeah.
But that doesn't go great at drop off.
I know. I have told people in the grocery line that I am having my period right now. It's just like it's like a little. It's too much. Too much.
I went to Walgreens yesterday. They were having a fire sale on tampons, and then I also bought a bag of high shoes. And when I went up to the front desk, I was like, the high shoes, because clearly. And the lady's like, I don't care why you're buying those. I just thought like she would be thinking it, so I needed to acknowledge it. But then she's like, why are you giving me all these details?
I know. I like thinking of something funny to say about my purchases. I've got, it's sometimes a weird combo. So
yeah, you were thinking it, but she wasn't. That's what I thought she would.
Yeah, exactly. So one thing we like to ask everyone who, and I know probably your whole 10 months here has been a series of unhinged moments, but one of the things we do like to ask is for an unhinged moment, could be with your own child, with your parents, what is something that will make us all feel a little more normal in our crazy lives?
Okay, I've kind of got one for myself, but I feel like the one about my mom is better.
Let's do that one first. Let's do that one first. And then if we have time.
So when you were like a kid and you'd go to the department store and you'd like hide in the clothes racks and play in the clothes racks.
Best time ever.
There's nothing more fun. Yeah. My brother and I were playing in a clothes rack and my mom kept saying, get out of there, get out of there. And we didn't listen because we were having so much fun. Yeah. And we ended up knocking the clothes rack over that then like subsequently knocked down a couple other ones. So she's like dragging us out of the store, right? We're screaming because she's like pinching our arms,
Oh, yeah.
My mom was pretty chill, but she was very mad at us because she had told us like 100 times to stop and we didn't listen. And then her favorite part about the story is that we were supposed to go get ice cream after that department store. And as she's dragging us out, I was like, wait, but the ice cream's that way. And she's like, oh, you are probably never getting ice cream again. You embarrassed me so bad.
I know. Isn't it funny when you think back and you're like, God, you just get this realization of how much they probably withheld themselves and did keep themselves relatively calm, because now you see it and you're like, oh gosh, that would have made me so mad. So that's hilarious.
It's like at the time I was like, that was the scariest thing that's ever happened. But now I look back and I was like, would I have held it together that well as the dominoes and the whole, the store just like caught on fire and now it like blew up. We caused such a scene.
That is so funny. Oh my gosh, that's so great. I love that. All right, so then what's the other one? We have a little time here.
It was probably like a week after we got home from the hospital. And my husband's sister is like the best person. And she had bought us this very nice gift it's a bottle washer. So there's a lot of debate in the mom world of whether you need the bottle washer, why not just wash it in your dishwasher, whatever.
Right.
The bottle washer is the greatest thing we've ever had. It's just that because you're not always doing the dishes when you need to wash the bottles or whatever.
True.
So I had the lid to the bottle washer and I dropped it and it broke on the floor. And I like fell to my knees crying about this is why we can't have anything nice. And now we're going to have to wash the bottles by hand. And how will we survive this? And then my husband was like, actually, if you just like put it on this way, it doesn't leak or anything. It's fine. But I seriously, you would think that I'd never had a bad thing happen to me in my life because I was devastated by this crap bottle washer. I was never going to recover.
That's so funny. And it's like your hormones are all over the place and you just start crying. I just remember just crying at random things, like just for no reason. And like the bottle washer.
I'm just not a big crier in general. So it was jarring to me that it was like I broke down with that. I heard that one of the Mythbusters had died like 5 years ago and cried. postpartum. It was just like every song ever written makes me cry. I really it freaked me out. But the bottle washer was the one that I was like, okay, there's people with real problems. Probably went too far with the on the. It just very dramatic.
Oh my god!
And then my husband, he's like, he knows that it's like that I'm not myself. So he's like, oh, it's okay. We can see if there's replacement parts. Maybe I can like weld it, whatever, however you weld plastic. He's like, oh, we'll figure it out. Yeah,
that is awesome. I know the poor dads are trying to like fix it, but yeah, that's so great. Oh my gosh. Oh, Tara, this has been so fun. It's just all goes so quickly, but I know you have to get back to your baby and
I can hear him crying.
Yeah. Thank you so much for taking time out of your busy day and just let people know where they can find you online. And we'll put those links in the show notes.
Tara Check Comedy on Instagram. And that's really about it for me. That's where I
the
post,
main. But yeah, you don't have time for anything else.
That's right.
You should do one thing.
It's not because I'm bad at technology. It's that.
No, we don't need all the things. So great. Well, we'll put the link in the show notes as well as a link to Second Chance Comedy and Christy Buckley's classes if you're here in the Denver area. So thank you so much for coming on and sharing a little bit about your motherhood journey with us.
Thank you. And Andrea, I just have to say, thank you for giving us the outlet. It really is something special, those Moms Unhinged shows. I've done some shows now and there's nothing quite like that. So it really made me feel pretty connected in a time where people can really struggle.
Yeah. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thanks, everyone.
Thanks. Bye.
Thanks for listening, and make sure you subscribe, share, and follow us on the socials to get more comedy clips.